した。お前の作った力ではない。
What's up guys, it's Project and it's finally here. I perfected Susanoo. And once again, it's back on top as the best level weapon build as far as damage goes. You can use this build to slay everything, but also in Murder Farm to level up super fast, and like you see in the background, stack luck for farming Marabashi for ethereals and making that green carpet. Having Gyokdo and 290 plus luck using level weapon charms gives me over 300 luck when using level weapon, and having Itukuri, luck on helm, and prestige points puts me over 500 luck total without having to change or get my build for that crappy Swallowtail set. When using a Luckbringer talisman, this pretty much guarantees I get nothing but divines and ethereals. Like you see in the background, you don't want to use grapple after paralyzing them. You want to stand a little bit further back and then use your strong attack to Oko them. If you need more damage to one-shot them, simply swap out the helm for Hino Enma's Kabuto. You can watch my easy Marabashi farm video for more info on that. But anyways, moving back to the build, Kusarigama actually got a buff in its level weapon mode. Its level weapon attacks are now stronger, but most notably is its strong attack in the weapon. Initially I had an odachi, fully spec'd out Kojiro's odachi since I couldn't for the life of me get an ethereal Susano bloodstained cleaver, and I already spent like 6 to 8 hours trying to farm it, so I gave up.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Kusa was made apparent as having a viable level weapon strong attack, so much so that it outdamaged the old nerfed blade spin, so that piqued my interest and I decided, okay, let's test it. Kusa versus odachi. I then farm an ethereal Susano Kusa. The easiest place I found to do so is the Kusa guy from Scion of Virtue mission, since the Braves with actual unique weapons always drop their weapons. You pray at the nearby shrine before killing him, go kill him. If no Susano Kusa drops, quit the game immediately after and you'll respawn back at the last shrine prayed at once you reload back in, giving you another chance to kill him without having to do the mission all over. Use Gyokdo and Luckbringer Talisman and stack as much luck as you can for best chance for ethereal drops. A few hours later, and I finally got a Susanoo one, so I then compared the two, putting both at the same divine and upgrade level, both with identical stats, reset my character to have 40 in all stats for an even playing field, and tested against Giant Toad using the weapon at full life with no buffs. Odachi's strong attack total damage from both hits from the front was 15,013. Kusa with Sickle Mystic Heart was 17,258 total with all 3 hits landing from the front, and with the Weight Mystic Art it was 17,469. So Kusa actually outdamaged Odachi by about 15%. With a Bloodstained Cleaver that would put them on par with each other, but it's obviously more rare to get. Kusa's strong attack is also faster and has a pretty decent reach, but Odachi still has its advantages of a wider AoE, and it has double the break amount of Kusa, so breaking guard is much easier with Odachi. So this build can use either Odachi or Kusa, both are viable, but you know me, I want the best damage, so I went with Kusa. That also makes sense considering my old Susanoo build also used Kusa. If you plan to use Odachi, then Kojiros or Bloodstain are the best. For stats on weapon, this is the best I think. Pretty common sense by now, you either change to attack body, skill, or dexterity. Doesn't matter which one. I chose weakened melee weapon for more defense, but generally, as you saw, I one-shot pretty much everything anyways, so it's nearly useless most of the time. But also, weakened torso can actually raise the defense of some enemies like Ogress or Sarutobi. They get buffed from weakened defense stuff, so just a warning for people unaware. If you're wondering what the best Kusarigama is for this build, it's one without a permastat, so just with the Grace of Susanoo bonus, and then 5 stats, no inheritable. That way you can add the final 7th stat by inheriting it on. So stuff like Shiranui or this Isurugi are not the best, since they have a useless elemental stat, which is a dead stat in the weapon and crap outside of the weapon. But that's bordering on perfectionism that you should avoid in this type of game, at least for now considering how rare ethereals are, so just settle for any Susanoo Kusa you find. Now moving on to the armor setup. As I mentioned, I use 5-piece Susanoo, the best set for strong attack builds, a no-brainer to have. Try to get 2 Susanoo ranged weapons using the One-Eyed Dragon's mission method, or by opening the chest in Scion or Virtue method. That is, there's various chests in that level that will always randomize their drops and rarity, so you can potentially get Susanoo cannons like I did. If nothing drops, don't pick anything up, run back to the shrine or use an earth folding talisman and that will reset them. Repeat that until you get your pair. Now on to the other sets used, which are probably more important. I did lots of testing and farming and comparing between setups, and the setups you see here is the ultimate setup, giving you more power and arguably more defense than 5-piece Susanoo and full fanatic, which was thought to be the best setup for living weapon. Even I thought so too at first glance of comparing stuff on paper, but I really wanted to make sure, and with actual testing, it was in fact not the case. In fact, I even gave Fanatic the benefit of the doubt and used a weapon that had close combat attack critical, 15% on it, and I had one special effects critical charm, 14%, so Fanatic's 50% special effects 6-piece bonus was in effect here, and yet this setup I put together outdamaged it by 4 to 5k, or about 10% damage with the exact same buffs on at low life. One of the sets being 4-piece Kigetsu. Now, this is a weird set in that you gain damage and defense from status ailments. What you may not know is that debuff magic like Carnage or Hermit Talisman actually count towards this in particular, meaning you can actually gain its effects at will. And from testing, even with Hermit Talisman and Carnage on, with no Steel Talisman or Protection Talisman, the set actually reduced damage, so much so that normal hits without the buffs actually did more damage to me than with these on, despite both those Omnio lowering defense. The damage increase from the 4-piece bonus is roughly 16 to 18% with 2 debuffs on. After that, the damage boost drops dramatically, so you only need 2 ailments really. So the way I go is using Carnage and Reciprocity. Both count as status ailments for the set, the former giving me further damage and the latter is non-debilitating since I'm in living weapon and don't need key recovery speed. So I not only gain a sizable damage boost, but also lots of damage reduction, making this setup pretty tanky. You also get the usual 13% close combat damage from his 2-piece bonus. Now you could go all 6-piece for 25% critical, however I think these other pieces are better. That is, this unique developer Revenant drop only helm, which boosts strong attack damage by 4.9%. You can find this helm from the Revenant just before the elevator in Demon King Reveal mission. Good luck getting an ethereal one though. And of course I use my favorite 2-piece, Fanatic, for 20% critical. Now you may think,
well, isn't Kigetsu 6-piece just as good?
And you'd be right damage wise, however, By having Fanatic 2-piece, you gain Fanatic's extra damage reduction, and by having this Kame-wari helm, it's a heavy helm, meaning you also get more damage reduction than using Kigetsu's helm. So this is what's called min-maxing, boys. Also, if you really wanted, you can replace the helm with Kodama Bow for murder farming or whatever else without losing Kigetsu's entire 25% critical bonus, since you'll still retain Fanatic's 2-piece bonus. So overall, this setup and the rest of it is also superior to Fanatic, since when not in critical, you can still do pretty decent damage, so that's why I think this setup I put together is better overall than full Fanatic and 5-piece Susano. On your ranged weapon, you want EWDB, that is equipment weight damage bonus, preferably a Susano cannon so you can also get fire damage. Put a murder urn on it and the rest is up to you. The second ranged weapon is another Susano piece. For armor, the helm you want a bonus from a murder absorption, increase attack. In general, you want attack on all your armor and a murder urn on everything you can to keep living weapon up. Luck is also a nice stat to have on helm. Now for chest, this is a must-have setup. You want a heavy Susano chest piece to pass 30.1 weight for full EWDB bonus. Everything else here is irreplaceable. Well, except 0 key bonus. I didn't even use that in any of the clips, but it does give a nice damage boost, and that's about 10 seconds after you deplete your key before going into live weapon. So you can replace this with a murder urn if you don't plan to use it, but the rest you want as is, that is, receive attack damage critical for more damage reduction. You want damage reduction status ailment suffered, which works with Kigetsu since it's worded the same way, and lastly, bonus when surrounded, increase attack. You want this stat since the helmet doesn't continuously give you an attack buff when you absorb a murder in living weapon. For some reason it doesn't refresh while living weapon, so this on chest gains you attack in multi-enemy encounters. For gloves, get nullified damage dash attack. It's unusable in living weapon, but when your living weapon is donezo, this is a way to survive since you just need to use a dash attack to be immortal. To which with the extraction talisman you can continually dash attack until your living weapon bar is back to full and you can activate it again. Now, on pants or gloves, you want tenacity. This prevents you from dying to poison or fire status ailments, as well as preventing leeching talisman from killing you, which is used to get us into critical before boss fights or going through a level. Now, this bonus from status ailments here does not trigger from self-inflicted status ailments, so this is only really usable when an enemy debuffs you, or if you're using burning oil jars and step into that to get the fire status ailment. And lastly, the boots, you want purification attack damage times 2, not increase attack damage times 2. This actually triggers with Kekai Talisman, so when you touch a yokai realm, you purge it automatically with Kekai Talisman and you gain the attack times 2 buff, doubling your first hit. This is a way for living weapon builds to get attack times 2, so it's a must have. For charms, you want yokai close combat damage and living weapon attack damage, as high as you can get on both charms. A murder urn using living weapon is mandatory on at least one of them, so if you don't have a triple perfect like I have, then lose yokai close combat damage for a living weapon attack and a murder urn using living weapon on one charm. If you wanted more defense, then a charm like this would be ideal. Now I'll try to rush the rest of this since I'm pretty sure the video is already long in the tooth with the amount of info I rambled about. For stats, should be obvious by now, get 99 in all 3 respective stats for the weapon you use. For kusa, it's this. For odachi, you want strength, stamina, and heart at 99, dex and magic at 30 minimum, and spirit can be lower at 36. If you're lower levels, simply take away points from the least scaling 99 damage stat on your weapon, common sense, have enough stamina to beat beat agility, and of course surpass 30.1 weight. For spirits, we use Best Doge. I tested against Enko and Raiken, and I guess with the new spirit cap, Kato edges out Enko, though Enko provides some break and fire damage. The best secondary is the mouse. For murder farming, switch to Suzaku and Tiarsha, and for luck, use Gyokto and Itakuri. For the clan, you want Kuroda for most damage since we don't wear all heavy armor, so Todo clan is out of the question. Kuroda maximizes damage at 4 enhancements. I tried out Nioh, thinking the close combat attack after purification would work with Kekai, but it does not. You have to manually purify a realm to get that buff, which is a bummer. If you want more defense, you can get Yamanaka clan, giving you 9% damage reduction and like 2% damage at best from the other one. Or better yet, Kato clan is better since it provides 4% more damage reduction when attacking, which you should be as a supposed tank. For Omnio, Ninja, and weapon passives, here they are. You have to jumble skills around on your hotbar depending on the situation. I access Quick Change and Luckbringer from my item menu, not the hotbar. For bosses, I use Carnage first and then Leeching after for more damage. And finally, for skills, Honestly, at this point, pick what you want. It doesn't matter since you just use strong attacks and live a weapon, and outside of live a weapon, I just use dash attacks into low stance strong attacks. Get all the normal passives here. An important thing to note is the Mystic Art, however, you want the Sickle Mystic Art, not the weight one.
But didn't you say earlier that the weight gave more damage overall?
Yes, however, with Sickle, from my test I mentioned earlier, the first hit gave about 1500 more attack than Weight's first hit, while Weight's overall only was about 200 more damage total. The first hit is significant, however, because of Tai Chi arts, but also attack damage times 2. You always want your first hit to be the most damaging to gain the most benefit from these things. And the first hit with the Sickle Mystic Art was also 1800 damage higher than Odachi's, meaning Kusa's first hit is stronger than even Bloodstained Cleaver. So that's why you want Sickle Mystic Art. Whatever points you have left, dump into Melee Mastery for more damage. And yes! Finally done! If you watched the whole video up to this point, give yourself a pat on the back. Thanks for watching its entirety. Also comment down below if you did. But that is my ultimate offensive live weapon build, Perfect Susanoo. Susano's back, boys. Hope you guys have fun with it. Obviously, like all ethereal builds, it's going to be hard to make. We're going to have to riot against Team Ninja for them to change that. It is pretty ridiculous. But good luck with the build. This was done on my second character, actually using my old Salamandra build, which still swept through most of Way of the Wise with relative ease without upgrading or changing anything. So for anyone looking for a divine build to get you through Way of the Wise, then that's a fine build to use. As for what's next, I don't know. I want to do something lighthearted and fun with Nioh, just to play around and feel powerful, aka not on Way of the Wise, as I don't think it's viable, and no, just doing Marabashi, who are weaklings anyways, doesn't make it viable. So I don't know, maybe I'll make a video on that when I put something together. Also, check the description for more deets on Perfect Susanoo and how to get the gear and whatnot in text form. And by the way, Dragon's Dogma got a trailer a while back and recently got its price revealed. Was too busy with Nioh to pay attention to stuff like Monster Hunter or Dogma news, so I figured I'd throw this in this video. It's gonna cost 30 buckaroos, which is honestly a great price as some people thought they were gonna charge 40 or even full price for it. From the trailer though, it still looks like hot trash. Given it's Capcom, it's expected, but it's something I'm looking forward to nonetheless. Dragon's Dogma PS4 and Xbox One port comes out October 3rd in the West. Get hyped because wolves hunt in packs. Anyways, that's all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hit 8K subs as well, which is grand. Thank you guys for your new and continued support. If you liked the video or build, leave a like, comment down below with any questions, and of course, subscribe for more Nioh epicness.